Hey guys, it's your girl Dora. Can't say she in the building because she's definitely not. She's out here. I'm out here. Hey guys, I'm out here in the park enjoying this beautiful day. A little bit of quality time with myself, reflecting, thinking about a lot of things, trying to put some things in perspective, just coming to you. I just wanted to say something to you guys. As always got something to say, right? I know. But just wanted to share with you guys the topic, people pleasing. Listen, people pleasing is almost like a disease. It's some people that live this life not for themselves, but living a life for others. And when I say living a life for others, meaning they're constantly worried about pleasing that person. Now, I'm not saying, everybody have relationships, and I'm not talking about boyfriend and girlfriend relationships or just husband and wife relationship. I'm not talking about those type of relationships. I'm talking about those relationships, but I'm not just talking about those relationships. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about mother and daughter, father and son, mother and son, father and daughter. I'm talking about all types of relationships. We don't want to be people pleasers, guys. God does not want us to be living a life worrying about how to please others. God wants you to live the life. Sole purpose in living a life is for God. So not so much for, the man over there, the woman over there, the child over there, not that type of life, y'all. Not that type of life. God wants us to live a fulfilling life. And one of the ways for us to live that fulfilling life is to be pleasing to Him. To be pleasing in the eyesight of God, we have to live a life that's more purposeful. So I can't just live my life based upon how I'm going to make my neighbor happy, or how I'm going to make, my granddaddy happy, or how I'm going to make someone else happy. Because at the end of the day, only thing that matters is you and your relationship with God. And people pleasing, as I said just a little while ago, that yes, it can be like a disease, because some people don't know how to live their own lives. Some people don't know how to live a life that's pleasing to God. Some people just don't know how. Some people become so attached to others. They become dependent upon others. They can't move without making sure that, how this is going to affect that person. Yes, when we have relationships, yes, we are supposed to consider others, consider how it make other people feel. But we cannot live a life that's just being a people pleaser. We cannot, because otherwise you're robbing your own self. You're robbing your own self of a happy life. You're robbing your own self of living a fulfilling life. God has created us and designed us for a purpose. You have to sit and figure out what that is. You have to sit and create time in your life, create time in a day, so that you can spend time with God, and that you can develop this relationship with Him. You can communicate with Him, so that way you can hear Him. And that's the only way that you're going to learn what your purpose here on earth is. Because guess what? Your purpose is not your purpose. You was not created to live a life that's pleasing to me. You were not created to live a life that is pleasing to Jeffrey or to Lisa. You're not, you can't live your life like that. You have to live a life that's designed and that's y'all, okay, this is a little sidebar here, but I'm not getting bit, but bugs are starting to form. Bugs are starting to come all around me, and I guess I'm smelling a little sweet. You know how I do. But yeah, bugs. It might be time to go. But back to what I was saying. You can't live your life for other people, and that's the bottom line. That's all of what I'm saying. The bottom line is live your life for you. Don't be a people pleaser. Do things that you know that are going to make you happy. Do things that listen, one thing's for certain, two things for sure. What you do in the dark will come to light. So, you live your life like that. You live your life making sure that you're doing all of the right things. So that way when you go to bed at night, you can lay your head down on that pillow and don't have to be worrying about if you hurt somebody in the midst of your actions throughout the day, or the midst of your decision making throughout the day. Saying that to say, make sure that you're living a life that's pleasing to God. Okay, if y'all know about people pleasing, if you once were a people pleaser, I'm sure you were. Everybody were at one point in time. We've lived that life. We've done that. So in growing and with spiritual maturity, we do look back on some of the things that we've done, some of the things that we really probably shouldn't have, and look back at that life, and you just be like, wow, I did that. Wow, I escaped that. Wow, I can't believe that, I did that, but why did you do that? When you look back on that, I mean, if it was something that you wanted to do, then okay, sure, more power to you, but if it was something that you did and you were doing that to please others, to make others happy, to just feel a part of something, or just so that others can like you, we no longer can live a life like that. We can't do that. Not because of the age. I'm just saying it's time to just go ahead and mature. It's time to, step up and look at where you were, what you were doing, how it impacted your life, if it did have an impact on your life. If it didn't impact you in a negative sense, that's great. But look back and see, use wisdom. Look back and see that I can no longer live that type of life anymore. I can't always be hanging down here, or doing, ripping and running and going here and hanging with this type of crowd. Or, you got to learn that what you used to do, you can no longer do, and if that means that you were out there doing things because you were being a people pleaser, or if you was just out there trying to find yourself, now, guys, it's time to step in the realm of spiritual maturity, as the Bible says, as the word says, when I was a child, I did childish things, but when I grew up, I no longer could do those childish things. And I'm saying that because, it's some of us that's well into our 40s, close to our 50s, and, maybe almost 55 years old, and they still doing some childish things, and a lot of times those actions is because they want to please other people. Yep, some people just haven't matured. Some people just haven't grown up, and they doing things because they choose to do things. Making wrong decisions. Not making better choices. But I'm saying to you today, your girl Dara is here right now. She's saying to you today, don't be a people pleaser. Don't. I've done it before, and it got me nowhere. And I could say about 20 years ago, y'all, I was living this life, probably over 25 years ago, was living a life trying to make sure other people were happy, and I wasn't even worried about your girl, Dar. I wasn't, and I wasn't living a life that was detrimental to my life, but at the same time, it wasn't helping me either. It wasn't helping me, I wasn't growing much. I wasn't growing, I wasn't growing much. I wasn't growing spiritually, mentally, none of that. It just had me there. And thank God I wasn't doing anything that was detrimental to my health or well-being in that sense. It was more or less the mind, it was more or less that. But saying that to you to say, please live your life. Be happy. And if you're not happy with your life right now, don't worry about your neighbor getting that new car. Don't worry about your girlfriend always being able to go shopping all the time. And you're like, when my time coming, when I'm gonna get mine? Yep, I've done that too. I felt that way too. But there's a season for everything. Everything under the sun, there is a season for. We go through, we come out, we up, we down. So your time is coming, and as they all say right now, oh, this is the season, this is the time when God, want us to be able to be attentive to Him and, seek Him more. Take an opportunity to do that. Yeah, we all confined to our houses, not today though, but we all confined to our houses, more than we are, more now than we were before. We're sitting still more, so don't just sit and flip that remote control looking through that TV station or looking for this movie or looking for this series here. No, sit by yourself, sit with God, get on your knees if you have to, call out to Him. I want you to get this burning desire within you. Let me tell y'all something. Get that burning desire. If you don't have it, you better get down on your knees and ask God for it, because right now, this time that we living in, you can't live your life for other people. You got to live your life for you. Live your life for you, not for other people. Don't be a people pleaser anymore. No. First of all, you ain't getting paid for it. And then secondly, it's not getting you nowhere. Okay? And I'm sure that it's going to bring about unhappiness. It's going to bring about troubles. It's going to bring about frustration. So I'm telling you, don't live your life for other people. Consider people's feelings. You can do that. Consider people's feelings, because our actions, can hurt others. Our decision making can hurt others. But as I said before, don't live a life trying to worry about pleasing other people. And I just want to share this one little story. I worked with a young lady, or woman I should say. This is about 15 years ago. I worked with this woman who I admired greatly, and it was a few of us that sat around with this woman, and every little thing that she did, I mean, if she wanted to go on vacation, or if she wanted to buy shoes, she would say, I have to ask God. I gotta pray about this. I gotta ask God. And I used to be like, what? That's your money. Like, what? I mean, and don't get me wrong, because 15 years ago, I had a relationship with God too. But I wasn't there yet. My spiritual maturity hadn't kicked in just yet. So I didn't really understand. I really didn't understand how or why every time she wanted to do something. And I'm not saying every time like she wanted to go to the store and, buy something simple, it was like that. I'm just saying like greater things. And the reason being is because she had that relationship with God. She had a purpose in life. And some of us don't know what our purpose is. And that's another reason why I said you have to sit down and form that relationship. You have to sit down, sit still, and communicate with God, so that way you can get to know. First of all, you'll learn. Once you start praying and form that relationship with Him, sitting still, you'll learn ways. And reading His Word, you'll learn ways of hearing from Him. There's many ways that you can hear from God, reading the Word, in dreams, God will speak to you in that soft voice, and He can deliver a word from someone, so there's many ways, but you still got to be in tune. Your spirit got to be in tune, and, that coworker that I did work with, God bless her heart. I love her. I ain't saying no names, but I'm just saying that to say that back then I didn't understand it, but I totally understand it now. So instead of wanting to please other people, live the life that's pleasing to God. And you might not know what's pleasing to God. And you know why you might not know? Because you haven't taken the time to sit with Him. You haven't taken that time to really pray and get to know, reading that Word to get to know Him and know what He requires of us. He didn't just create us and have us here just to fulfill joys for ourselves. No, we all have a purpose in life. So to know what your purpose is, spend time with God. Spend time with God. Don't wait until something traumatic happens, something devastating, something very, very bad happened, and now you want to get down on your knees. And that's fine. That's good if that works for you. But what I'm telling you is, let's save you some face, honey. Just go ahead and start forming that relationship. Listen, you confined to your house. You confined to your house. You got more time on your hands than you ever had. For real. You ain't got Billy Bob in your ear. You can go ahead, sit down somewhere, and form that relationship with God. Form a relationship with God so that you could be more in tune to His Spirit. You can be more in tune to hearing that soft whisper, and you'll know where to go. You'll know what direction to go in, and you'll definitely know who you need to worry about pleasing. Don't be a people pleaser. Be a God pleaser. Okay? Hey, y'all. Talk to you later.